If you're thinking about moving to one of LA's exclusive hillside luxury communities, this video is going to deliver the goods. In it, you'll see all the top neighborhoods in the Santa Monica Mountains, from Los Feliz in the east to Malibu in the west. We'll dive into a lot of details about the lifestyles here so that you'll get a real clear picture of what it's like living here. We'll also nail the details like hidden enclaves most people have never heard of. You'll see all your options. Also in the show notes below, there are links to each neighborhood so you can check current real estate prices. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Tony and I make videos about living in beautiful Los Angeles. I'm also the founder of Ruby Home, a luxury real estate brokerage here, so you can reach out anytime with questions. With that, let's go. Is Los Feliz on your real estate radar, a place you might want to live, but maybe you need a little more info just to be sure? Well, you're in the right place, because in this video, you'll see the different enclaves of Los Feliz, the local amenities, and your real estate options, and very importantly, the vibe of the area. Let's start with the lay of the land. Los Feliz sits at the eastern edge of the Santa Monica Mountains. That means some of its neighborhoods north of Los Feliz boulevards are hillside neighborhoods. They include Los Feliz Estates, Los Feliz Hills, and Franklin Hills. The rest of Los Feliz sits in the flats around the commercial core, Los Feliz Village. There's also one gated community, Laughlin Park, and we'll take a closer look at the real estate scene in just a minute. Los Feliz has its own shopping district, so it's quite self-contained. However, its central location makes it super convenient, just a quick drive away from downtown Los Angeles, Dodger Stadium, Hollywood, and Glendale. Plus, in nearby Atwater Village, there's a Costco where I load up every 2 weeks. There are 2 Trader Joe's nearby, one in Silver Lake and one in Hollywood. So why do people choose Los Feliz? Well, LA is obviously large, maybe a tad impersonal, and maybe even a bit gritty in a few places, but there are pockets with cool bars, cafes, and boutiques. Of those pockets, Los Feliz is one of the coolest. It's almost like a small town. In terms of amenities, Los Feliz Village, right behind me, is the neighborhood's commercial core. This is where you'll find the aforementioned boutiques, cafes, bars, and restaurants, and most are locally owned, not national chains. So there is something there that gives Los Feliz Village its charm. Most businesses are concentrated on Lower Vermont Avenue and up and down Hillhurst on both sides of Franklin Avenue. Here's how you can think about the vibe here. Los Feliz is the kind of place you go out for a casual pint or glass of wine with your friends. It's not particularly loud, it's not disco. On the whole, the restaurants are pretty good with a wide selection of fare. For a little extra flavor, you can always hit nearby Thai Town, Little Armenia, or Koreatown. For outdoor adventures, Los Feliz is right next to Griffith Park, which is chock full of fun opportunities to take in some nature. There are so many things to do in the park. Actually, before I get to the Griffith Park rundown, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe. So Griffith Park offers 53 miles of trails, 3 golf courses. There's the Los Angeles Zoo and the Autry Museum of the West, and the Griffith Observatory, which still has a functioning telescope. You can even peer through it at night for free. I hike in the park at least 300 days a year. It's my go-to spot. The trails and views are unbeatable. And having grown up in the rainy Pacific Northwest, when I moved to LA in 2001, I recall being blown away playing golf year-round in the sunshine. The Greek Theater is one of the best things about living in Los Feliz. It's smaller, more intimate than the Hollywood Bowl, and I have nothing but great memories seeing some of my favorite artists here. Let's take a look at the real estate in Los Feliz. The housing stock here is a mix of single-family homes, mostly luxury homes, and condos. Luxury homes are concentrated in 3 hillside neighborhoods. Los Feliz Hills properties have irregularly shaped lots and twisty roads that slice between them. The area is chock full of stunning Mediterranean and Spanish colonial homes built in the 20s and 30s. Many properties have sweeping views. This is one of LA's most notable neighborhoods, with a vibe to me reminiscent of Phil Noir. Just be on the lookout for traffic congestion on Vermont and Hillhurst. These roads get busy when there's an event at the Greek. Los Feliz Estates was developed all at once in the 1960s, thus the enclave has symmetrical layouts and regularly shaped lots. It is architecturally eclectic with many styles. Most homes have a great view because the lots here were graded, so the neighborhood has a stair-step look to it, and the community CC&Rs stipulate height restrictions to prevent any obstructions. Franklin Hills abuts Silver Lake on the eastern edge of Los Feliz. Its western entrance takes you across the Shakespeare Bridge. Architectural styles here are what you would expect. You'll find Spanish, Mediterranean, mid-century modern, and contemporary. Homes designed by Lloyd Wright and John Lautner are sprinkled around. It's also home to Walt Disney's first house. Just off the northwest corner of Franklin Hills sits a building you may recognize, John Marshall High School, with its collegiate Gothic style. The school has been a filming location for numerous movies, including Grease. Locals know to avoid the heavy traffic in the morning and afternoon. That's when kids are getting dropped off and picked up from school. Around Los Feliz Village is where you'll find craftsman and bungalow homes. You'll also find low-rise condominium buildings, super convenient for shopping and running errands. There's only one high-rise condo building here, Los Feliz Towers, built in 1966. This mid-century modern gem has around 100 units in 2 towers. Its balconies have vistas of the LA Basin and Santa Monica Mountains. The territorial views are hard to beat. Laughlin Park is Los Feliz's gated community with its old Hollywood charm. It was once home to notable directors Cecil B. DeMille, W.C. Fields, and Charlie Chaplin. Naturally, it's full of gorgeous homes. In fact, some of the architects who have designed homes here are arguably as famous as its residents. So let's talk about the architecture in Los Feliz writ large. Here are some of the names you may know. Frank Lloyd Wright, his son Lloyd Wright, modernists Rudolf Schindler and Richard Neutra, and eclecticist Paul R. Williams. For years, I passed Lloyd Wright's Soden House, driving to and from Trader Joe's. Soden House is actually one of the reasons I started researching architecture, and long story short, the architecture rabbit hole ultimately led me to helping people like you find homes in neighborhoods they love. If you're considering buying or selling in Los Feliz or the LA area, I'll leave our contact information in the show notes below. I mentioned earlier the impressive architectural gems in Los Feliz's hillside areas, but this is just the tip of the iceberg for luxury homes with views. If you'd like a private retreat in the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains, you don't want to miss what else the hills of Los Angeles has to offer. The Hollywood Hills, known for its luxury properties, well-heeled residents, and homes with views. It's a great place to live. In this video, you'll see the real estate, the local amenities, and get a vibe for the place. You'll see the places to consider, and maybe the places you want to avoid. But first, I just read 2 homeowner surveys. 25% of luxury homeowners didn't like their home's location. Among millennials, it was 27%. The bad news, that's a lot of people living in areas that are a mismatch for their lifestyle. The good news, I can show you around the Hollywood Hills and point out things that might be a good fit for your lifestyle or might not be a good fit at all. I'm Tony Mariotti, luxury real estate agent and resident of the Hollywood Hills since 2001. Stay tuned. Hollywood Hills is part of the Santa Monica Mountains, which runs from the I-5 freeway near Glendale all the way out to Malibu. The mountain range is where the vast majority of luxury homes in LA sit. So let's zoom in a little. Hollywood Hills is divided into 2 main sections, Hollywood Hills East and Hollywood Hills West. They are divided by the 101 freeway, the Maginot Line, so to speak. The Hollywood Hills East section includes the principal neighborhoods of the Oaks, Beechwood Canyon, and Hollywood Dell. There are also smaller enclaves like Lake Hollywood Estates and Lake Ridge Estates. Both of those overlook the Lake Hollywood Reservoir. In the southeast corner sits Hollywood Grove, an Historic Preservation Overlay Zone, or HPOZ, known for its collection of craftsman homes. One of my favorite parts of the Hollywood Hills East is its access to nature. Griffith Park is an amazing resource that offers a vast network of bridle and hiking trails. Unlike other parts of LA, you don't have to get in your car to enjoy some nature. Griffith Park is also home to 3 golf courses, 2 championship 18-holers, the Wilson and Harding, and the Roosevelt course, which is a 9-holer. The Greek Theater, a phenomenal amphitheater, smaller than the Hollywood Bowl, which I'll get to in a second, offers a really special environment and intimate outdoor shows. One of the most iconic things about the park, other than the Hollywood sign, is the Griffith Observatory. And guess what? It's still a functioning observatory. And I love bringing out-of-town friends here to look through the telescope at night. This part of LA really has a bucolic vibe, one that's relatively laid back given the size and scope of the massive city that surrounds it. One of my favorite amenities over here is Beechwood Village, a small collection of businesses that sits about a mile up from Franklin Boulevard. On the weekends, it is swarmed with hikers and tourists on the way to the park. Architectural styles here include Mediterranean and Spanish colonial homes built in the 1920s, and then you've got mid-century modern and other post-war homes. Some of the lots here can be very steep. A lot of times, homes will have small yards or no yards at all. It's not uncommon for your deck to be your outdoor space. Just a quick reminder, if you're looking to buy or sell in the Hollywood Hills or the greater Los Angeles area, my team and I would love to help. you can contact us at info@rubyhome.com or 323-678-9004. Great, now let's transition to Hollywood Hills West. That runs from the 101 freeway to the border with Beverly Hills. This is where the pace of life really picks up. More boutique shopping, more restaurants, more nightlife. Hollywood Hills West includes the principal neighborhoods of Outpost Estates, Nichols Canyon, Laurel Canyon, and the Sunset Strip. The Hills West also has an HPOZ, Whitley Heights. Outpost Estates and Nichols Canyon somewhat match the neighborhood of Hollywood Hills East in terms of how lush they are. Runyon Canyon Park offers a great outdoor retreat, but not nearly at the scale of Griffith Park. Depending on the time of day, one might argue which is better, the hiking or the people watching. Now continuing west, we hit Laurel Canyon, which gets a little busier, but still retains a canyon living kind of vibe. Then you hit the Sunset Strip, the Times Square of the West Coast. It's lit up with digital billboards, lots of traffic, both vehicle and pedestrian. Now, if peace and quiet are your thing, living within a block either side of this boulevard could be problematic. However, living above it means you're never too far from the action. Comedy clubs, nightlife, restaurants, and plenty of shopping from the boutiques at Sunset Plaza. One of the best parts about living in the Hollywood Hills West, and living in LA in general, is that if your favorite act is touring, they're going to stop at the Hollywood Bowl. It can be an unforgettable lifetime experience. In terms of real estate, Hollywood Hills West has a few high-rise condo buildings, something its eastern counterpart doesn't have. Along the southern side of Sunset Boulevard, there are several hotel residences like West Hollywood Edition and the Pendry. Homes in the Hollywood Hills West match the architectural charm you'd expect for luxury properties in LA, with a high concentration of red tile roofed homes, meaning Spanish, Italianate, and Mediterranean styles. Bird Streets, Doheny Estates, that's where you're going to find the super luxury mid-century modern and contemporary homes. Hollywood Hills West definitely has a higher number of stunning seven-figure properties that sit prominently above the city. These homes are the creme de la creme of the hills. One tip I'd like to share with people considering living in a canyon or in the hills, either Hollywood Hills, Beverly Hills, or any place along the Santa Monica Mountains, is that the direction that your home faces will affect the amount of sunlight that you get. So obviously, homes that are on the western-facing slope of a hill are going to get more afternoon sun. It'll be in the shady spot in the morning as the sun rises from the east. And conversely, if you're living on an eastern-facing slope, you're going to get more morning sunlight, but less sunset. Now that you know more about the Hollywood Hills, could you live here? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. In this video, I'm going to show you the hidden gems of Beverly Hills, all the neighborhoods, not just the ones they show you on TV. You'll see the neighborhoods here and the types of homes within each, the amenities of the neighborhoods, and you'll get a sense of the vibe of the area. What's your jam? A condo close to downtown, or a single-family home near South Beverly Drive? Or maybe it's a nine-figure property in Beverly Hills Post Office. Or maybe something in between. If you caught my last video about Hollywood Hills, I cited some research that showed 25% of homebuyers didn't like their home's location. I don't want that to be you, so stick around and I'll show you the neighborhoods of Beverly Hills so that you are familiar with them. I'm Tony Mariotti, luxury real estate agent and founder of Ruby Home. Stay tuned. I set up this exploration to start very simple. Let's divide Beverly Hills into two areas to begin with, north of the tracks and south of the tracks. The tracks refers to Santa Monica Boulevard from the days when the Pacific Electric trolley line ran down the middle. In fact, it was operational until 1954. The outline you see is the Beverly Hills city limits, but there is more north of the tracks. In fact, the biggest neighborhood in Beverly Hills is the Beverly Hills Post Office neighborhood, or BHPO. As you can see, BHPO sits outside the city limits of Beverly Hills, so yep, it's technically Los Angeles. And I'll explain more in a minute about what this means from a practical level as a homeowner. So let's drill in. The principal neighborhoods south of the tracks include Roxbury Park, Doheny Southwest and Southeast, La Cienega Park, and the Golden Triangle, part of downtown, which includes Rodeo Drive. South Beverly Hills, or south of the tracks, is probably going to be most appealing for people who want to live close to the action. So there's obviously Rodeo Drive with many nice restaurants and obviously very high-end shopping, or South Beverly Drive, which is much more relaxed. It's the place most routinely used to meet up for coffee or lunch or a casual dinner. You'll also notice that one of the more charming parts of this area are the tree-lined streets, which provide a lot of shade, and a lot of sidewalks, which you won't always find north of the tracks. In fact, many blocks south of the tracks have a small town suburban kind of feel, which is a nice departure from the rest of Los Angeles. Another thing to like about south of the tracks is a few of the community centers and the parks, including Roxbury Park and La Cienega Park. Single-family homes here sit on smaller lots, and homes are set back from the street. Prices here are moderate, and a handful of condos sit around the Los Angeles median price. For luxury condos, keep your eyes peeled for units south of Santa Monica Boulevard on North Oakhurst and North Palm Drive. This is where you'll find a high concentration of some of the most coveted buildings in Beverly Hills. There are a handful of luxury condominiums on Rodeo Drive itself. There are also some reasonably priced homes north of the tracks that you'll find in the canyons from time to time, and I'll cover that in just a minute. In fact, you'll see in property descriptions realtors using the words "getting a foothold in Beverly Hills," which is another way of saying impress your friends. Now we'll move north of the tracks, which is all single-family residences, 0 condos, and it's a little pricier. As we cross Santa Monica Boulevard, the first neighborhood we come into is Beverly Hills Flats, or The Flats. The streets in the Flats are really wide. Beverly Drive and Cannon Drive, in fact, have iconic palm tree-lined streets. The front of the properties are open to the streets, unlike the hedged-in properties in Beverly Hills Gateway, which I'll show you in a second. Lots are large, which give enough space for swimming pools, of which there are many, and a decent number of tennis courts. Beverly Hills Gateway sits at the foot of the Santa Monica Mountains and includes estate-sized properties with large lots. Pools here are the default, and there are many homes with tennis courts. Properties here are less open to the street than the Flats. There's more privacy, there's more hedges, and front gates. Some homes have views, much more than downtown or the Flats, but not all homes have enough elevation to get the views you'd find in Truesdale Estates or Beverly Hills Post Office. Truesdale Estates is a planned community, so lot sizes are relatively uniform. All the homes here have views, and there's a very specific reason for that. When the neighborhood was developed, they graded each lot into level pads. So there's a staircase kind of look to the neighborhood. There's a 14-foot height restriction on homes to ensure each home preserves its view, and every home is set back at least 15 feet from the street. Architecturally, nearly every home here is a mid-century modern home, so if that's your thing, this is a great place to look. There are a few contemporary and traditional homes, but just a handful. For the north of the tracks neighborhoods we've discussed so far, you can pop downtown Beverly Hills for dinner or shopping. There's golfing nearby at the Los Angeles Country Club, and there are several pocket parks: Will Rogers Memorial Park, Beverly Gardens Park, which is right on Santa Monica Boulevard, and then Coldwater Canyon Park, which is a nice little dog-friendly pocket park. My favorite thing to do in the Gateway area is to meet up with friends at the Cabana Cafe or the Polo Lounge at Beverly Hills Hotel. Just a quick note, I make videos for people looking to make smart real estate decisions in Southern California. If that sounds like you, be sure to subscribe. Also, if you're looking to buy or sell in the Beverly Hills area or the broader LA area, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource. You can reach us at info@rubyhome or the number on the screen. Now let's move on to the biggest neighborhood in Beverly Hills Post Office. Within Beverly Hills Post Office, there are 2 main canyons of import concerning residential real estate: Coldwater Canyon and Benedict Canyon. Coldwater Canyon Drive and Benedict Canyon Drive start at Beverly Hills Gateway and run up to Mulholland Drive. One of my favorite things about Beverly Hills Post Office is its rural feel. There's more contact with nature, you can see more stars at night, you can put the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles behind you. Now, one of the small downsides to this rural living, so to speak, is that if you're looking to get a last-minute item from the store, it's actually going to be a 15-minute drive. So life here can feel a little bit less spontaneous than, say, living in San Francisco or Manhattan. In terms of real estate, many homes are tucked along the roads that wind up the canyon floors. Homes range from smaller one-story homes to massive, ultra-luxury properties on promontories with sweeping views. BHPO includes numerous exclusive gated communities, arguably the most exclusive in terms of price being Beverly Park, which includes North Beverly Park and South Beverly Park. 8-figure homes here are the norm. In terms of BHPO amenities, the place for outdoor recreation is Franklin Canyon Park with 605 acres and 5 miles of trails. And you can pop over Mulholland to Fryman Canyon Park and Willacre Park. I promised that I would explain more about Beverly Hills Post Office. So BHPO is the portion of the 90210 zip code that resides within the city of Los Angeles. At a simple level, this just means you get the benefit of a Beverly Hills address, but your services are going to come from the city of LA, like trash, fire, and police. As mentioned earlier, sometimes you can find homes that are closer to the Los Angeles median price along the canyons and the little side streets that run off of those canyons. And give you a foothold in Beverly Hills. Now that you're more familiar with Beverly Hills, we'd love to know, could you live here? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. In this video, I'll show you Bel Air neighborhoods you don't want to miss. The unique enclaves and their different vibes, the nearby amenities, and your real estate options at different price points. What's your jam? A condo or townhome in a park-like setting? Maybe a luxury home in a gated community? Or perhaps an ultra-private estate in the original Bel Air? One thing is for sure, understanding Bel Air's layout and the unique neighborhoods is a great place to start. I'm Tony Mariotti, luxury real estate agent. Stay tuned. This is the world-renowned neighborhood of Bel Air, Los Angeles. Let's start at a macro level and carve things up into Upper Bel Air and Lower Bel Air. In a second, we'll dive into each section and its enclaves. But first, let's paint with some broad strokes. Bel Air is different from other luxury neighborhoods in the Santa Monica Mountains for one fundamental reason. The most expensive homes are in the lower part of Bel Air, and there are some less expensive options in Upper Bel Air, and that's inverse of what you might find in Hollywood Hills or Beverly Hills. So now let's jump into Upper Bel Air. Upper Bel Air neighborhoods include Bel Air Hills, Bel Air Ridge, and Bel Air Glen, and the gated communities of Bel Air Park, Bel Air Crest, and Stone Ridge Estates. One of the cool things about this half of Bel Air, there are many view homes here. I'll cover more about ridgetop view homes versus canyon homes in just a minute. Let's look at the key neighborhoods. The first group we'll look at together is Bel Air Glen and Bel Air Ridge, which sit across from one another. They both contain a mix of single-family homes and townhomes, or condos. They're both laid-back neighborhoods that feel a little like suburbia. There are lots of trees and the neighborhood boundaries abut wild land. I always think of them as a great place to find a house nestled in a park-like setting. Another key neighborhood of Upper Bel Air is Bel Air Hills, established in 1952. Bel Air Hills includes about 900 plus homes. Now let's switch gears, and if a luxury home in a gated community is your jam, another group of choices here include Bel Air Park, Bel Air Crest, and Stone Ridge Estates. Here's a little bit about each. So Bel Air Park has a guard station but no physical gates. And then Stone Ridge Estates, and below that, Bel Air Crest, they have a fully guard-gated and physical gated entrance. Bel Air Park is comprised of 145 single-family homes. Houses sit on either side of Cassiano Road, so many have views. Bel Air Crest is the largest gated community in Bel Air. It is comprised of 200 homes, including several mansions in excess of 5,000 square feet. This resort-style gated community features a community clubhouse, sports courts, a children's playground, and a community pool. Stone Ridge Estates is comprised of 10 luxury homes. It is the smallest of the gated communities. It doesn't have community features like sports courts. So one thing about Stone Ridge Estates, it actually sits north of Mulholland Drive. So it's technically part of Sherman Oaks, but it's all Los Angeles. I mean, basically when the neighborhood was developed, it was marketed as an exclusive gated Bel Air community, and that description just stuck. In terms of amenities, locals enjoy the proximity of the Glen Center, which includes several shops, restaurants, and services like dry cleaner and a post office, which come in really handy. It's perfect for when you need something and you don't want to drive all the way to Sherman Oaks or Westwood to get it. In terms of getting outside, there's Getty View Park, which includes the Getty View Trail, which overlooks the Getty Center. It's a phenomenal view all the way out to the ocean. And then there's Stone Canyon Reservoir, built in 1924. Now, you might be tempted to think it's a recreational area. It's used only for emergencies for fire suppression. Stone Canyon Reservoir is closed to the public, but the homes in Upper Bel Air that line the ridges that encircle Stone Canyon Reservoir have a heck of a view. Just a quick note, I make videos for people looking to make smart real estate decisions in Southern California. If that sounds like you, be sure to subscribe. Of course, if you're looking to buy or sell in Bel Air or the surrounding areas, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource. You can reach us at info@rubyhome.com or 323-678-9004. Now let's look at the enclaves of Lower Bel Air. The principal neighborhoods of Lower Bel Air include Bel Air Estates, the original Bel Air, Lower Cassiano, Moraga Drive, and Moraga Estates. Bel Air Estates, the original Bel Air right off of Sunset Boulevard, was founded in 1922 by developer Alfonso Bell. It's also known as Old Bel Air or Eastgate and it's home to Billionaire's Hill. This is where you'll find over 80 ultra-luxury estates on large, irregularly shaped lots. Next up, Lower Casiano. Commuters love the quick access to the 405 freeway, and hikers love access to Getty View Trailhead at the north tip of the district. Just next to Lower Casiano is Moraga Drive, a 42-home subdivision known for its wonderful sycamore tree-lined lane and architecturally significant homes. Halfway up Moraga Drive sits the guard-gated entrance to Moraga Estates. Moraga Estates is the only guard-gated community in Lower Bel Air. Within it sits a wine estate, Moraga Vineyards, which is owned by the Murdoch family. Now, you might not expect wine grapes to be growing in the middle of the second largest city in the United States, now would you? In terms of amenities, notable schools, Harvard Westlake Middle School and Marymount High School sit within Lower Bel Air, and residents in this area enjoy the convenience of Westwood for shopping and casual dining. There are a few museums and movie theaters as well. In terms of outdoor activities, to be honest, Lower Bel Air has fewer pocket parks and open spaces than Hollywood Hills or Beverly Hills. However, there is the south entrance to the Getty View Trail. There's also Bel Air Country Club for golf. I promised I'd talk a little bit about ridge homes and canyon homes and the differences. Ridge roads have a lot of view homes, so it's generally pricier, and canyon homes, while they can be pricey in Bel Air, do offer some values closer to the Los Angeles median price. So let me show you some of those ridge roads and canyon roads on a map. Roscamari Road starts as a ridge road but turns into a canyon road right where it splits off into Stradella Road and Linda Flora Drive. Stradella and Linda Flora remain ridge roads. There's also some shorter runs on Bel Air Road and Somera Road. For canyon roads, check out Lower Roscamari Road, North Beverly Glen, and Stone Canyon Road. Now that you know Bel Air better, could you live here? If so, where? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Are you exploring Brentwood as a place you might want to live? Well, you're in the right place, because in this video, you'll see the different enclaves of Brentwood, the local amenities, and your real estate options. And very importantly, you get a vibe for the area. You'll find out if it's a good fit for you and your lifestyle. I'm Tony Mariotti, your luxury agent in LA. Stay tuned. Brentwood, Los Angeles is one of the most desirable neighborhoods in LA. Its real estate mix is dynamic. Mansions, luxury homes, and more affordable condos create a diverse housing market. Its residential neighborhoods are laid back. In fact, one we'll show you in a minute is quite rustic and countrified. A quick comparison to other Santa Monica mountain neighborhoods on the west side, Brentwood is less remote than Malibu and contains more shops and restaurants than Pacific Palisades. To me, it's the perfect blend of suburban tranquility and urban convenience. Let's start with a high-level view of the areas we'll visit today. Brentwood sits between Pacific Palisades and Bel Air. While not official titles, I think of Brentwood as 4 unique areas: Brentwood North, Brentwood South, Brentwood East, and Brentwood West. I think of the major areas this way because the enclaves within them have similar characteristics. Let's start in Brentwood North, which has 2 principal neighborhoods. The first, Mountain Gate, sits at the high point of Sepulveda Pass. It contains 6 enclaves and all but 1 is gated. Housing here is a mix of condos, townhomes, and single-family residences. Homes are positioned to take advantage of city, canyon, and territorial views. It's also home to Mountain Gate Country Club, which has 3 9-hole courses and 16 tennis courts to keep you busy. Just over the hill is Bel Air Skycrest, the northernmost Brentwood enclave. It borders Encino at Mulholland Drive. Home styles here are eclectic, but mid-century modern is really well represented. A quick note about Mountain Gate and Bel Air Skycrest weather: these neighborhoods are less influenced by ocean breezes and the marine layer that moves into the LA basin at night, meaning there's much less fog here and the temperatures are more in line with the San Fernando Valley. You can expect sunnier, hotter, and drier days. Brentwood South has a mix of single-family homes and condos. The officially titled South Brentwood and Westgate Acres are condo heavy. 99% of the condos in Brentwood are in these 2 neighborhoods, plus Mountain Gate up the hill. Within Brentwood South is Brentwood Terrace, a very nice enclave comprised of single-family homes around 5 million. Brentwood South is the liveliest area of Brentwood, especially along Wilshire and San Vicente Boulevard. Starting at the eastern end, there are a few pocket parks along Barrington, just south of Sunset, right near one of Brentwood's commercial centers, Brentwood Village. San Vicente Boulevard is what most would consider downtown Brentwood. Here you'll find lunch spots, coffee shops, fine dining, and boutique shopping. It's perfect for everyday errands like dry cleaning, banking, shipping, and groceries from Whole Foods or Mendocino Farms. Heading west a few blocks, you'll hit Brentwood Farmers Market, which runs on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The market brings people together in a lively and welcoming atmosphere. And of course, it has a selection of local produce and artisanal products. Next stop, Brentwood Country Club with 18 holes of golf, tennis, and a large outdoor pool. Our last stop is Brentwood Country Mart, right behind me, an historic and charming shopping center. You can't miss this well-known landmark with its recognizable red barn architecture. It's a longtime hub of community activity, and it's unmistakably Brentwood. One of my favorite parts about the commercial areas of Brentwood is that for an affluent area of Los Angeles, it feels normal. When I meet up with friends and clients for coffee, we're not fighting through throngs of tourists. Brentwood has a casual elegance to it. In fact, Pacific Palisades has a similar vibe, and I'll be linking to a video about Pali at the end of this one, so you'll want to stick around for that. Brentwood East and Brentwood West start at San Vicente and ascend the Santa Monica Mountains. Home prices ascend along with the elevation gain. We start in Brentwood East between the 405 freeway and Mandeville Canyon. Most subdivisions here belong to Brentwood Homeowners Association. Here are a few notable neighborhoods. Brentwood Circle is tucked right under the Getty Center just off Sunset near the 405. It's an exclusive gated community with home prices ranging from $3 million to $50 million. Brentwood Heights and Westgate Heights also sit below Getty Center. Both enclaves have large homes on oversized lots, so pools and tennis courts are common. Farther up is Crestwood Hills, established in 1946. It is known for its concentration of mid-century modern homes designed by notable architects like A. Quincy Jones and Richard Neutra. Kentor Canyon sits on the border with Brentwood West. Access starts at Kentor Canyon Avenue at Sunset Boulevard. And as you climb the foothills, several streets shoot off like tree limbs, balancing their way along ridges lined with luxury view homes. Before we leave Brentwood East, we'd be remiss if we did not mention the Getty Center. The Getty is perched above Brentwood, visible from almost everywhere in the LA basin. Its modernist facades of glass and travertine stone gently glimmer in the sun, inviting us and reminding us to visit. The Getty has real sway in the art world. I'll never forget seeing Jackson Pollock's mural on loan just a few years ago. For folks who like to get outside, Brentwood East has a few great outlets, including dog-friendly Crestwood Hills Park, a neighborhood pocket park with plenty of shade trees. Hikers have access to numerous trailheads near the top of Kentor Avenue and Tiger Tail Road. Like Brentwood East, Brentwood West's baseline starts at San Vicente and then runs up the Santa Monica Mountains. Our first stop is Brentwood Park, which is chock full of large lot homes, typically hedged in and set back from the street. Yards are big with ample space for pools and tennis courts. The area is really lush and the landscaping always impresses. Then there's Mandeville Canyon, offering a true canyon living experience complete with yipping coyotes and other wildlife in Upper Mandeville. Brentwood Country Estates, the third exclusive gated community in Brentwood, sits high on the east slope of Lower Mandeville. And across the ravine sits Westridge, a real hidden gem for finding luxury view homes. Our last stop is Sullivan Canyon, which borders the Tony Riviera neighborhood of Pacific Palisades. Sullivan Canyon began as an equestrian neighborhood. The roots live on via the Sullivan Canyon Preservation Association. It maintains an open space at the mouth of Sullivan Canyon, about 8 acres. The canyon itself is known for its bucolic, fence-lined country road, Old Ranch Road, on either side of which you will find numerous Cliff May Ranch homes. Outdoor enthusiasts living here get quick access to Sullivan Canyon Trailhead. Just a quick note, the next chapter is about Pacific Palisades, and a lot of the footage here comes from a video I dropped just a few months before the devastating fires. I'm including information about Pali because rebuilding is already underway, and while there will be challenges, it's valuable to get a sense of how amazing it will be once again. If you've ever thought about living in Pacific Palisades, this is the video to watch. Today, you'll see the different neighborhoods, the local amenities, and your real estate options. Pali is one of the most sought after neighborhoods in Los Angeles, and now you're gonna see why. I'm Tony Mariotti, your luxury agent in LA. Let's go. One of the defining characteristics of Pacific Palisades is its stunning natural beauty, a product of the Santa Monica Mountains meeting the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Palisades is different than other affluent areas in the Santa Monica Mountains. It has a coastal vibe you just won't get from other neighborhoods in LA, and it is still, say, connected to civilization, which is not always the feeling you get west of here in Malibu. Malibu can get quite rural, which is great for a lot of reasons. In fact, I'm making a video about Malibu in a few weeks, so be sure to subscribe. But simply stated, Palisades is less remote and less challenging, like when you just want to grab a quick bite to eat or when you're driving home from a show at Hollywood Bowl. Let's start with a high-level view of the areas we'll visit today. Pacific Palisades borders Malibu, Brentwood, and Santa Monica. In terms of its layout, Pacific Palisades has 4 main areas. Going east to west, they are Palisades East, Palisades Core, Palisades Central, and Palisades West. Now, don't go Googling these names. I came up with them. I was looking for an easy way to group Pali's neighborhoods by their similarities. We begin in Palisades East, as we're calling it, which is pretty exclusive. Our first stop is Riviera Palisades, known globally for its golfing and PGA Tour events at Riviera Country Club. Peeling back the hedges and the gates reveals stunning estates. Many at the higher elevations have ocean views. This part of town is known for its quiet, tree-lined streets, and large lots add to the sense of seclusion and privacy. Just down the slope sits the wonderfully verdant Rustic Canyon, and over the ridge and across Amalfi Drive sits Santa Monica Canyon, which runs out to the Pacific Coast Highway and the beach. Rustic and Santa Monica Canyons have been a magnet for artists and intellectuals since the early 20th century. In fact, Chautauqua Boulevard is named after the Chautauqua movement. It's also the road where I was hit by a car cycling one morning, a story perhaps for another day. Palisades East has quick access to hiking in Will Rogers State Historic Park, and one need not venture far into the wilderness to get to a popular viewpoint, Inspiration Point. It's also home to Will Rogers Polo Club, which hosts polo matches April through September. Moving west, we come to Palisades Core, which contains several neighborhoods, and downtown Pacific Palisades. Above Sunset Boulevard sits 2 neighborhoods, Village and Alphabet Streets. Village sits on a slope, giving homes here a height advantage and subsequent views. Alphabet Streets is level and mellow. The streets are narrow but wonderfully tree-lined. The Village is also what we call the commercial core of Pacific Palisades, a string of businesses lining Sunset Boulevard. In terms of everyday living, Palisadians are self-sufficient. The Village contains essentials like grocery stores, pharmacies, dry cleaners, etc. What's more, Palisades Village, a unique outdoor mall opened in 2018, brings even more vibrancy to the neighborhood. Palisades Village has mid to high-end boutiques, including locally owned shops, along with national brands, and has several eateries expanding your dining options in the area. It's also the location of the Sunday Farmers Market. I think the mall has made Pacific Palisades a destination. It gives Angelinos a reason to come out this way more often. It's been a great addition. Running from Sunset to the PCH sits 2 more neighborhoods, Huntington Palisades and Via Bluffs, also known as Village Bluffs. These areas also have a laid-back vibe, and the best viewpoint here, and the one that's easy to get to, is Point at the Bluffs, where I'm standing today. In my opinion, the view here is the best in the area. Below the bluffs sits the ever-popular Will Rogers Beach with its volleyball courts, playground, swimming, and skin diving. This is the terminus of the Marvin Broad Bike Trail, which runs from here to Torrance. It's paved, making for a really smooth ride. Mornings on the trail are best. You can keep a pretty steady pace, but afternoon foot traffic in spots like Santa Monica and Venice Beach means slowing down a little and keeping your head on a swivel. Continuing westward, we reach Palisades Central, the largest of the areas we'll visit. We begin in the Highlands, a large-scale development started in the early 1970s. Of all the Palisades enclaves, this is the most elevated. The housing mix ranges from condos and townhomes to single-family homes. There are multiple sections, each with its own amenities like pools and tennis courts. There are 2 gated communities, the Enclave inside the Summit neighborhood and Palisades Country Estates, which stands apart. There's a small shopping center up here, Highland Center, that contains about a dozen businesses. Down Palisades Drive, there's another commercial center, Highland Village. Just below Palisades Highlands are Marquez and Bienvenida. Both neighborhoods extend above and below Sunset Boulevard. Upper Marquez has houses along the ridges with many incredible coastal and territorial views. It's also home to the very exclusive gated Ridgeview Country Estates. Below Sunset, you'll find El Medio Bluffs and Bel Air Club. Homes in these neighborhoods include an eclectic mix of architectural styles. At the Pacific Coast Highway, or PCH, you can't miss Edgewater Towers. It's the only high-rise condo building in the Palisades, and it has killer views. There's another newer condo complex across the street that we'll show you in just a minute. One of my favorite things about Pacific Palisades is Temescal Gateway Park. When I lived on the west side, I hiked Temescal Canyon a lot. The views are killer, and this is my go-to place to bring out-of-town guests for the quintessential coastal hike. One oft-photographed trail viewpoint called Top of the Trail is spectacular. Farther up, you'll reach Skull Rock because it looks like a skull. I wanted to drop a quick note about buying a home in Pacific Palisades as it relates to the coast, elevation, and weather. If you're less familiar with the Pacific Palisades, it has a finite number of homes that sit on bluffs above the ocean. Most homes with coastal views will be in a neighborhood higher in elevation and a little farther away from the ocean. I think of it like going to an arena concert. A higher seat is unobstructed, and yes, you're just a little bit farther away, but hey, it's still a great show. One positive trade-off is that the air is warmer at higher elevations because these areas are less influenced by the marine layer. Speaking of weather, Pacific Palisades is a touch cooler than inland neighborhoods like Hollywood Hills or Hancock Park. While most days are sunny here, morning fog is not uncommon, particularly in late spring or early summer, known around here as gray May and June gloom. But ocean breezes and sunshine usually clear things out by early afternoon. Our last stop, but certainly not least, is Palisades West, which is comprised of 3 really cozy coastal enclaves. Homes here sit above the PCH, Castle Rock Beach, and Ratner Beach. The Paseo Miramar Enclave is a hidden gem with big homes on large lots with unobstructed ocean views. The Castella Mar neighborhood also has great view properties on its westernmost edge, and it's home to Getty Villa, a museum with thousands of Greek, Roman, and Etruscan antiquities. Lastly, there's Pacific View Estates, which borders the Malibu neighborhood of Sunset Mesa. One Coast is a newer luxury condo complex in Pacific Palisades, and while not a high-rise building like next-door Edgewater Towers, it might as well be given its hillside position and panoramic ocean views. Got thoughts of living in Malibu? Well, this video is the one to watch. Today, we'll show you some of the natural beauty here, some of its notable neighborhoods, and answer questions about which areas are relatively convenient versus those that are potentially more challenging. Our clients range from vacation home buyers seeking remoteness to folks looking to live here full-time and prefer everyday conveniences that, in many, but not all cases, saves them a drive all the way into LA proper. I'm Tony Mariotti, your luxury agent in LA. Let's go. Malibu is one of the most desirable areas of LA County. It runs along 21 miles of stunning coastline from Topanga Canyon to Leo Carrillo State Beach. Along the way, you'll find numerous parks and beaches, and of course, oceanfront property. If you're less familiar with the area, you might be surprised at how rural Malibu can be. There are horse properties and ranches here too. Let's start with a high-level view. Malibu is wedged between Santa Monica Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. It borders Pacific Palisades to the east and Ventura County to the west. In terms of its layout, Malibu has 3 main regions going east to west. They are Eastern Malibu, Central Malibu, and Western Malibu. Leaving LA and driving north along the Pacific Coast Highway, you enter Eastern Malibu at Sunset Mesa, a neighborhood near the mouth of Topanga Canyon. Here's where you start seeing surfers at Topanga Beach, and very soon thereafter, a row of Malibu beachfront homes. A little farther along, you'll also notice properties above you perched on the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains. Several restaurants and businesses line the PCH, and about 7 miles in, right at Malibu Lagoon, you reach Lower Malibu Canyon and the largest commercial hub in Malibu at Cross Creek Road. This retail district isn't divided by the PCH and its heavy traffic, and the layout lends itself to the charms of the small town that Malibu is. And it fosters a sense of community. There are several boutique shopping centers, including Malibu Village, which includes Malibu Cinema, Malibu Country Mart, a longtime social hub for locals, and the more recent additions, including the park at Cross Creek and Cross Creek Ranch. For everyday living, there are plenty of restaurants and grocery stores like Whole Foods and Ralph's. There's a pharmacy and primary and urgent care locations too. There are even a few small gyms and a car wash. Lower Malibu Canyon is also home to Malibu City Hall and Pepperdine University. Notable neighborhoods in eastern Malibu include Serra Retreat, a serene neighborhood with homes tucked into lower Malibu Canyon and perched on the ridges above. Malibu Colony is a gated community along Malibu Beach. It started as a humble row of bungalows in 1926 and immediately became a magnet for early Hollywood stars. Malibu Road is a 2-mile stretch of beachfront properties, and there are also condo complexes near City Hall. Hi, I'm just watching the rough cut of the Malibu video that you're watching right now. If you're interested in living here, shoot us a text, email, or call and get a personalized consultation. Malibu is big, but my team and I can help you whittle it down. That's what we do. We match people with the perfect home in the perfect neighborhood based on your lifestyle. Doesn't matter if you're moving in 2 days or 2 years, we get dozens of folks reaching out every week, and we absolutely love it. For a smooth move, don't wait, get in touch today. Now back to the better version of the video. Next up, Central Malibu, which runs from the western end of Malibu Road to Point Dume. This is where the rural nature of Malibu picks up and the pace of life in the Boo slows down a notch. There are fewer retail shops and restaurants than the Cross Creek Road area back in town. In fact, commercial activity here is very limited with the exception of Dume Point Village with about a dozen businesses. The trade-off? Nature, and lots of it. Zuma and Solstice Canyons have some fun hiking trails, and Escondido Canyon Park has a trail that reaches Escondido Falls. Some of the bigger Malibu beaches are out this way too. Paradise Cove Beach is a really cool spot with a cafe and a pier. IMDb says it's been a filming location for 240 films and TV shows. And just around the tip of Point Dume is Westward Beach, which you may recognize from the Planet of the Apes scene with Lady Liberty protruding from the sand. IMDb claims it's a filming location for 46 films and TV shows. Your real estate options really open up in Central Malibu. As expected, there are oceanfront homes, and here are a few notable neighborhoods. Malibu Cove Colony, not to be confused with Malibu Colony, is an exclusive gated waterfront community. But then we add some bluff homes to the mix, like Paradise Cove Bluffs, which contains some of the most expensive homes ever sold in California. A string of bluff homes also tracks around the coast along Point Dume. Central Malibu contains a high concentration of rural properties. These are set back from the shoreline, sitting in tree-shaded canyons or along the ridges of the Santa Monica Mountain foothills. Horse properties can be found near Point Dume in Ramirez Canyon and Winding Way neighborhoods. There are plenty of large lot, estate-like properties, and even a few small commercial and hobby farms. Now we arrive at Western Malibu, which runs from Zuma Beach to the Ventura County line. As I'm sure you can deduce by now, this is a portion of Malibu that has the fewest services. Fewer businesses line the PCH here, but there is the charming Trancas Country Market, which contains about a dozen businesses, including some good restaurants. Malibu High School, grades 9 through 12 is here. It is operated by the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District and has a student body of around 400. Top nature destinations include Zuma Beach on the west side of Point Dume. El Matador Beach's rock formations make it a dramatic spot for photography. County Line Beach has a nice surf break right across the street from the last Malibu restaurant on the PCH, Neptune's Net. I can't come out this way without a visit to this longtime Malibu hangout. In terms of real estate, Western Malibu continues with beachfront homes, bluff homes, and rural properties like Central Malibu. There are even a few condo complexes out this way. The ungated Broad Beach neighborhood has a nice mix of oceanfront and bluff homes. Ranch and horse properties are found in the hills, particularly Bonsall and Decker Canyons. Marisol Malibu, just across the Ventura County line, has a row of newer luxury homes. In fact, my team helped some international clients with a $17.5 million purchase of an absolute gem here. This is an area where you can really get away from the hustle and bustle. I wanted to share some important real estate tips about Malibu in particular. One of the things that Malibuites treasure about the lifestyle here is indoor-outdoor living. For better or for worse, it's become a local custom to list homes on the market and include the home's outdoor spaces like patios in the square footage. What I do to help customers who are thinking about making an offer on a home is to normalize home values using the interior square footage only, which is available in county records. This is a good reference point for making an offer and understanding a home's value. Also, sometimes we get requests for homes with private beaches, and they don't really exist in California. Technically, Malibu beaches are public below the mean high tide line. property owners that block beach access are subject to stiff fines. It seems like every year I see a TV news story about this, calling out homeowners who block access, and they get called out by name. Suffice it to say, it can cause some embarrassment. If you're considering a move to LA or across LA, it's good to talk to an insider, so let's schedule a call and get you pointed in the right direction. And if you're still thirsty for more information about LA's best neighborhoods, here's an even wider look at LA broken down by region. I'm Tony Mariotti. See you in the next video.